This is the FM Money Talk Radio Network, 95.3, 96.9, AM 1470, WWNN, Pompano Beach.
Here's the latest from ABC News. I'm Jim Ryan. A scandal is brewing across the pond. An investigative report has been delivered to British Prime Minister Boris Johnson over parties held by his government at 10 Downing Street that appeared to violate COVID lockdown rules. ABC News has learned that the report says the Downing Street garden was used for gatherings without clear authorization or oversight. Johnson will address Parliament later today. The UN Security Council is scheduled to meet today over Russia's troop buildup along the Ukrainian border and what to do about it.
Amid rising Russian aggression, U.S. officials are also dialing up the pressure on Moscow on multiple fronts at a UN Security Council meeting today. The meeting comes as a group of lawmakers on Capitol Hill inch closer to a bipartisan deal on a bill they are calling the mother of all sanctions that would devastate Russia's economy if it invades Ukraine.
ABC's Faith Abube. A woman from Kansas is due in court. She's accused of being an ISIS terrorist planning large-scale bomb attacks on Americans in the U.S.
Ekron allegedly trained in Syria from 2014 to 2017 before she was captured on the battlefield. On Friday, she was transferred to FBI custody and brought here to Alexandria to face terrorism charges. One of few women ever accused of being this involved in ISIS terror.
That's ABC's Pierre Thomas. New developments in the Ahmaud Arbery case. Federal prosecutors say they have a plea deal for two of the three men convicted of murdering the black jogger. But Arbery's family is vehemently opposed and plans to ask the judge to reject that plea agreement. The Cincinnati Bengals are headed to the Super Bowl for the first time since 1988.
I cried. I just broke down and cried. It couldn't be any better than this for Cincinnati. Finally, yes!
Bengals fans celebrating the team set to face off against the Los Angeles Rams on Super Bowl Sunday, February 13th. The game will be played in the Rams' home stadium. This is ABC News.
Have you ever thought you'd like to buy and sell houses but didn't know how or where to get the money? My name is Ron LeGrand, and over the past 40 years, I've bought over 3,000 houses without using my money or credit and taught thousands to do the same. Today, even in a virtual environment, we buy nice houses in nice neighborhoods using no banks, realtors, contractors, or other costly entanglements, and build huge cash flow and wealth without the hassle of tenants, all without credit and little or no money. You don't need a license or experience, and I'll show you exactly how it's done. Text FREE to 99799 and I'll send you my free training. I promise I'll change the way you think about real estate and open the door to a new lifestyle that doesn't involve risk or rehabs and can quickly replace your current income. Text FREE to 99799 and let me show you how to take your life back and build cash flow and wealth from your home. That's FREE to 99799. Again, text FREE to 99799.
Ladies and gentlemen, start your investments. Hang on for another hour of Money Talk on the FM Money Talk Radio Network, 95.3, 96.9, WWNN.
This program is furnished by amp2tv.square.
The opinions expressed on the following sponsored program are strictly
it's
those
lunchtime
of
and the Brooklyn Cafe is open for business.
Those of the station,
live from the Amp Media Studios. Dawn and Freddie S. and their team are ready to serve up a huge portion of fun for lunch with friends and neighbors. So let's break open that lunch pail and unwrap that sandwich you brought and take a front row seat in the Brooklyn Cafe and get ready to enjoy some humor and hot topics. It's time to get a healthy serving of hope and happiness to help your day go by with a smile. Your hosts, Dawn and Freddie S., are ready to talk about food, health, dating, or just plain dream making. If you have a story to share, movie review, restaurant critique, or just a coincidental thing that happened to you, call in toll free 888-994-4995, Studio A right now. Sit back and enjoy your lunch break at the Brooklyn Cafe. Here are your hosts, Dawn and Freddie S.
Welcome to a nippy.
There you go. Cole's going to go. There you go again. Cole's going to say.
Monday. It's
chilly? It's a little chilly out there?
Chilly. No, chilly's like a food. Nippy is cold.
Nippy
is when it's a little chilly.
You're a little chilly. We won't get into the other things that happen, so it's all good.
Stuff happens.
Happy Monday to you.
Happy Monday. What a fantastic weekend.
Say hi to all of our listeners and fans on WWNN.
That's right. Hello, Mr. Radio. Are you there?
Hello, Freddie.
Good morning, WWNN.
I think he gets a big kick out of that.
You can find us live on WWNN and streaming all over social media at 95.3, 96.9, and 1470 AM. What a weekend. You are correct. Did you stay in bed snuggled up with football?
I did. I had 2 pair of socks on. I had pajamas. I had a hat.
Did you wear your furry hat?
Yeah, it's my furry hat with the ears. I had, what do you call that, a robe? A thick, thick robe. I had blankets, and I was still cold.
Socks? 2 pairs.
2 pairs.
Wow.
And it was so freaking cold, man.
It got colder in the house. I think the house kept more of the cold in than
Then
sometimes
you can't
going
get it
outside.
Out. How do you get the cold air?
Cold air, I don't know. Did you turn the heat on?
I did for a second, and it smelled like death.
You got to burn it off.
I said, no, I ain't burning nothing. I says, I'm going to start a fire. Then I'm going to have to stay outside where they turn the fire off, and I'm really going to be upset. So I said, you know what? Turned it off.
You just stayed in bed all day?
Well, 2 days.
Football?
All day.
I got to tell you, all you got to do is watch the last 39 seconds.
Right?
I took Cincinnati and San Francisco. The San Francisco game, I got to tell you. But all in all, they were all great matchups. Everything went into overtime this weekend. Even the Heat game went into overtime.
Some of them went. Yesterday, the second game didn't. The second game, the Rams went. Who are you picking for the Super Bowl?
You know, I'm a little upset because I was picking San Francisco. So now I think Cincinnati.
The problem is that they're playing at home of the Rams Stadium.
True that.
And a team at home in the Super Bowl is tough.
Yeah, except look what happened to Kansas City and Cincinnati.
That was in the Super Bowl.
But it was 1 step away.
I want to bet Cincy, but my money is telling me to bet the Rams.
Okay, you bet the Rams. I go Cincy. Bet quarter? Or we're not allowed to do that?
Yeah, we can.
I'll get you a cup of coffee.
No, we can bet a quarter.
Okay.
You've won the last 6 Super Bowls because I had to do this.
We'll see what happens.
So I'm rooting for the Rams.
Okay.
I wonder who's favorite.
I go
Anybody
for the Bengals.
Know who's favorite in that game? Nobody?
I don't know. I haven't heard. I do not know.
Well, what a fantastic weekend in the games.
Great weekend. A lot of cold in South Florida. A lot of cold every which way.
My sister, I sent her pictures of the beach, and I said, the palm trees are swirling in the wind. And she called me all sorts of names.
I tell you, the beautiful thing about South Florida is it does warm up just a little bit. The sun shines and it warms up. It's a little warm outside now. Don't say that other thing, because Cole's going to say, what's wrong with you and nipples? You in 3 days of that already.
I got to tell you something. The iguanas fell.
Well.
Now, I cannot tell you or be responsible for what happens to them when they
That's
fall
what I'm
on the
afraid
ground.
fell into my house.
An iguana? In the drain?
That's what I'm afraid of.
Could be.
I'm afraid an iguana froze and fell into one of my air vents in my bathroom, and it's like, ew, the plumber's there.
And if you put Drano on the drain, you probably disintegrated him. So
I don't know. The smell coming out is like, I'm thinking an iguana froze and fell into my pipe somewhere. I'm sleeping here. I'm not going home.
You got stinky pipes. That's all I can tell you.
That's all I can tell you. Yeah, that was my weekend.
Yeah, stinky pipes. You've been on a trip all morning.
I don't know. No, my kids came in from out of town, so I got to see Aaron and Ashley. We celebrated my mom's birthday yesterday a little bit early, which was really nice. So we went over to the house, brought in dinner, so she was happy.
And Mama son, how's she doing?
She's good. She's good.
They went to the wedding in Texas?
I don't know.
Do they know about that?
They know about that. But today, my mom's birthday is Thursday, but today happens to be our executive producer, Giovanni Santori's birthday. So happy birthday to you, Gio. You have not answered texts, so I'm assuming you're either celebrating or you're deep in the trenches at work, but happy birthday.
We have a picture of Gio. Have a picture of Gio? Somewhere? Did you download it? Probably not.
No, not yet. Today is also National Hot Chocolate Day. So when Steve Gubb comes in, we'll be doing a Gubbarum hot chocolate kind of mixture. I've created this in my head, and I'm looking forward to bringing it to fruition on set.
I don't know what the hell's wrong with your head, but anyway. We had some tragedy over the weekend as well.
I know, that was really sad.
I didn't learn about this tragedy until I woke up at 3 in the morning. It was just too cold to sleep, man.
It was really sad.
And I saw somebody say rest in peace for Miss USA 2019.
Yep.
And then when I woke up this morning, I saw it on the news, and apparently she committed suicide.
That's what I heard.
So I don't know, she was an attorney from what I understand.
That's what I heard.
So and we have an attorney in studio today, and we have
Dr. THC
The doc
Taylor
in the
Holistic
house.
Community. Dr. Taylor's Holistic Community in the house also.
So we're going to be covering both aspects.
So we're bringing back, I don't want to say resurrect, but we're bringing back our Mental Health Monday, which is well needed here. And we've got Mr. Shane Farnworth joining us, talking about what you need to know in case you are in an accident. First steps first. And a lot of great stuff. Steve Gubb will be joining us. He's coming up from the Carl Gables Food, Wine, and Spirit Festival, where he was this weekend. Aaron actually got to meet him. He said he's such a nice guy.
He can be.
He's a nice guy, Steve Gubb. And I think Amy Rashevsky, our in-house artist, is supposed to be here for 5 days ago. Maybe she'll be showing up today also.
She's shoveling snow from North Carolina.
Well, we'll see what happens. So today's artwork brought to you by the artwork of Amy Rashevsky behind me, and you've got the beautiful sunset of Miss Rosie Sherman.
Rosie Sherman, boy, I tell you, she could light up a house.
So a lot of great stuff. We're going to take a commercial break. Give us a call live on the radio, 888-565-1470. Say hi to Mr. Radio. Give us a call. Let us know how your weekend was, what you've got going on today on this beautiful sunny South Florida day. And we come back, more to come on this brunch hour. Stay tuned. We'll be right back.
Even though some things are far away, we plan for them ahead of time because they're important. When it comes to your celebration of life, it's really no different. You want to plan ahead now so your family doesn't have to later, and create a service that reflects your values, character, and traditions, no matter what they may be. At Dignity Memorial, we listen to every detail and make sure everyone is remembered.
Jay Harmon, exclusively in the Gallery of Boca. Jay Harmon captures the essence of really creative and captivating mind. Jay Harmon brings light into the darkness on majority of his pieces, using a negative background to highlight the details of some of his looks. I know some artists use white canvases, but he thrives on a black canvas. And here's the kicker. He only uses pencil, colored pencil, graphite pencil, and pencil for his art pieces. Yes, I know it's hard to fathom that these beautiful pieces came from pencil, but yes, they did. And the only way you can experience Jay Harmon is if you come to the Gallery of Boca. Jay Harmon, an unconventional artist with a unique story behind every canvas.
Being a successful woman in business means having the courage to own who you are. We understand the challenges faced by women, and we are here to help. Our team is here to develop the best strategy designed just for you. Your path is unique, and with the right tools, you can accomplish your dream. From radio to TV, from podcasting to magazines, we create the visibility to amplify your impact in business. At New Dawn Media, we are here to help bring your message forward and help your business flourish. It is time for your message to be seen and your voice to be heard. Contact us at 866-224-5422 or brooklyncafe.tv. Your voice can make a difference.
Sorry about that, and we're back.
They're all talking to us. All right, you ready to get into some Mental Health Monday? We also have our Mini Donut World game to play in a little bit.
I didn't even put that together. So.
I did. It might not be good for you, but I put it together. But you want to do the game first, or you want to get into our Mental Health Monday?
No, let's get into Mental Health Monday.
All right. So you ended our last segment with unfortunate, tragic news of Miss USA, and we'll have to talk to our Miss South Florida Fair, who's running for Miss Florida, later on in our show to see maybe if there's a mental health component, maybe too much pressure. I don't know. But we've got a new sponsor joining us today. We've got Dr. Hillary Taylor. We call her Dr. THC for Dr. Taylor's holistic community, joining us on set. What do you want to talk about? Mindset Monday, Mental Health Monday?
Yeah, because, I mean, apparently it's being said that the young lady from the contest committed suicide and left all sorts of messages. And a lot of people are saying that, don't look at the outside of how people act, because apparently she had it all going on. She's doing a lot of shows. She was an attorney. And I was going to bring in Farnsworth on the attorney side of this thing, because sometimes your business may bring in some things that are kind of dangerous to your profession. But the assumption right now is that she committed suicide. Young woman, I think she was 28? 30? Oldest woman to win
Miss USA?
Miss USA.
How beautiful she is.
And we have Miss USA, Miss America, and another one. The three of them are all black women, which they didn't realize until they put them together and they did an interview, from what I read.
Beautiful.
And I wanted to talk about what's going on with the anguish nowadays. I mean, it's something that we talked about on a lot of the shows. And here you have the Olympians, we're talking about mental stress and everything that's going on about us. So you don't really know who you think you know. So don't take it for granted that you do. So I wanted to see what you thought about that.
Well, my thoughts in general, obviously my thoughts, prayers go out to the family. It's a really hard thing to process, to deal with. But I think that it does highlight for the rest of us that self-care and self-love are so important, maybe more important than success, and lead to success. And I think that when in the spotlight, when in the limelight, even more so, the pressures we all have, it's been a very difficult past 2 years for a lot of people. I think becoming aware of the pressures in life and doing something about them and getting the help that you need and asking for help no matter what you're doing, no matter where you are, no matter how famous you are, no matter how busy you are, is really important.
Is the asking for help the hardest part?
In my personal experience, yes. I think that there is still, unfortunately, a taboo with asking for help, whether it's male or female, or any combination of that. And I think that just saying that I'm different and I'm not okay, and knowing that it's okay not to be okay, and that we all need help sometimes. And there's a saying, no man is an island. Like, we don't go through life just floating along by ourselves. We're affected by a lot of people and the environment around us, and it's important to have another sounding board, if you will, for just, is everything the way that it's supposed to be? Is everything the way that I want it to be? Is everything, could there be more? Where do I need help?
Do you think maybe people don't realize they need help until they're so far into needing help? Because little by little you think, all right, I got this. I'm a little sad. Things aren't going so great. And those little bits until finally there's a breaking point. And if you haven't asked for the help before, now it becomes a catastrophic cry for help. And you're doing a lot of back work.
Yeah, I find that to be a huge problem. And I think that that's where I go back into self-awareness and self-love, and always checking in with yourself and saying, how far away from okay am I? And I even say that to my current clients that are seeing me. They only call, some of them only call me when there's a crisis. And I say to them, well, what has led up to that crisis? Let's get it before it becomes a crisis. And that would be kind of how I work, is the prevention of crisis. It's be okay with yourself. be happy as much as you can be. Figure out things that you love in life, because life is going to happen whether you like it or not, and life isn't full of rainbows and roses. So what do we do when it's not? Bad things happen. Bad things happen to good people. So what do we do with it when that happens? And I think that starts way before you ask for help. But if you can't do it all by yourself, it's okay to need assistance.
So there are ways to be proactive, and you brought a couple of things with us, because mental health awareness is not just when you're in crisis to call a counselor. There are things you can do to promote self-love. There are things you can do from channeling your inner strengths and things that make you feel good, just to have a better day. What are some things that you brought with you today?
Absolutely. So I have the belief that no matter what you use, if you believe in it, it's going to work. So I do a lot of quirky things, and I love them, and they bring happiness and light into my life, and so I do it. So you can see that I'm surrounded by crystals. I always have crystals. They have different meanings. They have different significances. They have properties to them, and they really help me connect with the fact that I'm okay. It's like a grounding, if you will, of we're all connected. A rose quartz brings in a lot of self-love and healing, and when you hold it and you think about that, it sort of brings your awareness to it. So I believe in meditation. I believe in movement, obviously, whether that's silent movement and quiet and slow and meditative, or it's working out and running, whatever you need to do for your mental and physical health. I also believe in a low toxin lifestyle, so I drink low toxin water. I believe in herbs. I use essential oils. I kind of do it all, and whatever works, and I don't question it. And I take baths on the full moon, and I try to bring joy to my life wherever I can.
She's all about doing the whole goddess ceremony.
Well, the interesting aspect is self-awareness, self-love is important. But sometimes your job or what you're doing, what she was doing, takes on a lot of pressure. And Farnsworth is here as an attorney. And that isn't a profession. It could drive you nuts, or it could drive anybody nuts.
Well, the stress
correct?
of it, sure.
The stress of
Deadlines.
It's just so overbearing. Even though you're trying to control what's going on, that lid sometimes will pop. Is that true?
That is true. Attorneys, I read this before I went to law school. We have one of the highest dissatisfaction with jobs.
Can we turn them up?
Of any profession, and it's a very competitive profession. There's obviously you're acting as an adversary to other people, and so there's a lot of tension that goes with it. So yeah, I mean, it's something you have to really get used to, and it can certainly have an effect on you. I remember I went to a seminar once, and there was an attorney who was from Miami. He was a very well-known attorney that had done trial work all over the United States, was extremely successful, and he came up and he gave sort of his speech, and I mean, I could have been a motivational speaker, top circuit. I mean, he was an incredible speaker, great presence. And I walked out of there thinking, hey, that sort of gave me sort of some grounding, and hey, there's other things I can do for my profession that will make me happy. And then probably within about 6 months of that guy actually committed suicide.
Wow.
So, you don't really know what's going on with people. And that was definitely a lesson. Like I said, he was inspiring, and that just unfortunately didn't work out in the end. But yeah, so having job stress. I'm sorry?
You never know.
You never know. Yeah.
Somebody could be all that in a bag of chips, and that could be a front. It could be somebody hiding pain.
He was a top attorney. He really was. And,
now, how do you separate the both of you? How do you separate in your field somebody who needs a call to help? Because you really, in your profession, you got to be upfront. You got to be the man running the chessboard, because you're in court. I mean, let's be real about this. It isn't you want to win for your client. So how do you know the difference between somebody needing help or it's just you being an attorney?
Well, I think every situation has its own scenarios that go with it, but one of the things you run into doing personal injury that a lot of people don't think about is when somebody is injured and they're not able to do things they were able to do before, that can cause trauma and mental and physical trauma. Sometimes people have PTSD, sometimes they get depression, and things like that. So as a practitioner of personal injury law, those are things you got to look for in clients. And like we were just saying, I mean, even in general, you just sort of have to watch and try to understand what people are telling you, because you never really know what's going on inside somebody's head.
There's that case in Illinois. It happens to be my friend's son's roommate. The kid was in a car accident, I guess 10 days ago already. Airbags deployed, and he got out of the car and walked away. They're assuming now from a head injury, and he has not been found. And both airbags deployed in Illinois, and I guess he works with a financial firm, and everyone is doing this all points bulletin to try to find him, because it was not within his nature to walk away. He left his phone in the car, and nobody has seen him since. So they've been scouring the woods. So you think about, right, both of you together, car accident, personal injury, and now probably a TBI, a closed head injury someplace. And what do you do with this? I mean, you've got your perfect storm over on this situation. It's a young kid. He's like 24 years old, prime of his life. So you got to try and ask for help, because we can't do this alone, right? No man is an island.
But, Doc, I go back to you sometimes, because the way you do what you do is a little bit different than other people that I've met in this business. The approach sometimes is, it could be body language. It could be the eyes. It could be never having contact, eye to eye. It could be a lot of things. There's insecurity, and then there's the deep end. And the problem is that as soon as you talk to somebody, do you want to talk? They're going to tell you no. They're going to say, absolutely no. What do you think, I'm crazy? I'm fine. This is your problem, and yada, yada, yada. Been there, done that. It's happened to me lots of times. Now, there was somebody that we knew about 6 years ago, and I woke up at 6 in the morning, and I was informed that she did commit suicide. And I saw it. And there wasn't enough that I could do, because I was an outsider looking in, and I tried to tell people to talk to her, and it happened. And she did not seek help. So bad things do happen to good people. It does happen. So the object of the game here, I was going to touch on making good decisions. Making decisions ahead of, which is I think what we talked a little bit about before. If you make good decisions, then as the road goes through it, these good decisions will pay off, correct?
That would be the theory, sure.
Yeah, but there are things in life that you think you're making the best decision out of a circumstance. Not all decisions, in my world, everything is rainbows and unicorns. But clearly, not all decisions are easy decisions. And you pick the best one out of your circumstances, but it still might not be the one that gets you over that hump.
Preventative damage. If you're going to hang out on a train track, I guarantee you that decision is going to end up bad. If you're going to hang out next to a train track, still could be bad.
Yeah, but those are catastrophic decisions. There are things that just happen in life. You can lose. I remember years ago, I had lost 3 grandparents within a span of 6 weeks. So that was not any decisions of mine. I then had to cope with that, what it was like.
Decisions, you carrying this vase in high heels up and down the stairs.
That had nothing to do with losing 3 loved ones in a matter of 6 weeks.
Trust me, it can get bad real quick.
And I kind of want to interrupt, because I hear what you're saying.
You don't like you're going to be our therapist now? We need a marital therapist.
No, I do.
Sure.
I like where you're going, but at the same time, you point out what I was talking about specifically is life is going to happen.
Life happens.
And the only decision then you can make is how are you going to respond? And that's why I think, not to pat myself on the shoulder, but I think everybody needs a life coach for these decisions. If you don't know what to decide, to have somebody else who's looking out for your best interest, who's unbiased, who's saying, okay, well, let's go through it. Let's go through what are the consequences of you making decision 1. Okay, let's play out the tape. Let's see what happens. Are you okay with that? I will support you, no shame, no guilt, no matter what. But is that the best decision for you? And then we play out decision number 2. And sometimes it's as silly as what to make for dinner when people are overwhelmed. And I'm here for that. text me. I'll help you figure that out. I might not know myself, but I'll help you figure out the answer. What color nail polish? It's a very silly decision, but sometimes when you're overwhelmed, it's the littlest decisions that kind of throw us off. And then, like Freddie was saying, you know, making some of those catastrophic decisions of, if I go in this direction, what is my life going to look like? If I choose door B, what is my life going to look like?
She's made us both right in this situation.
Well, I know, because she's very clever. You know, there was on the news, there was a lady that had 4 children, 2 very young and 2 older. And because of the pandemic, kids in school under 5, they get sick. And there's a 10-day in New Jersey is down now to 8 days because the 5-day has not been approved by the people in Jersey, whatever the hell it is. So she's stuck. Every time there's somebody that gets sick, you got to keep your kid home. So the pressure of her still trying to have a job and doing this mommy thing, she's finally quit her job. So now the burden is on her husband, who's going to be bringing in all the income, for 4 little girls. That's tough. So sometimes you pick and circumstances pick for you. You know, I remember when I first met you and we talked about having this card about what to do if you're in an accident. I thought this was simple. And everybody that I have approached with this since Friday, including my friend here, has said this is wonderful because you sort of lose your way of what to do if something bad happens. And I think that that's what happens in life.
You lose your way?
You lose your way. And all of a sudden, the easy way out is I don't want to have to deal with this anymore. Freddie Berrios, may you rest in peace, my good friend in high school. He talked to me one day, and I thought there was nothing wrong with Freddie. But he was actually reaching out to me. He went off the deep end of his car. And I got to live with that for the rest of my life. That's on me, because I did not see it. Now, doesn't mean I could have done anything, but at least I could have tied him to a tree or something. But the bottom line here is if you are aware of yourself and those things around you, it's sort of, she's nodding her head, no, I know it's not on me, but it is on me. I gotta tell you why it's on me. He was my best friend. He was the only guy that I knew in high school that me and him were tight. And for some reason, I thought Freddie was okay, and he wasn't.
And maybe you weren't the one to save him.
Maybe I wasn't, but I sure as hell would have loved to give it a shot. And I can't get that now. I've lost that opportunity. But
we got to go to commercial break, but before we do that, I want people to know that you have your doctorate. You are more than a life coach.
I do.
Which is really important because there are a lot of life coaching programs that people can go through, and you go through your hours, you go through your time to be a life coach, which is very, very important and well needed. But you also have your PhD as a clinical psychologist?
Yes.
So you get the best of both worlds.
I'd like to think so.
I want your client, people who are listening to realize that you are a life coach plus.
Yes. I love psychology. I loved learning. I love learning in general. That's what I am here to learn. I just found that the regular way of psychology and the way that I was being told to practice really didn't align with me. And when I stepped away, I figured out what did. It took me a little while, and I did a lot of the self-care and all the preventative things that we're talking about to see what are my choices? How do I get to respond to the world around me? And I figured life coaching, that's what I wanted to do. I could still use my education and use that to inform my practice. And I think that gives my clients a little bit of trust. And obviously, I don't know everything. So I'm always willing to research more and learn more. And as a doctor of psychology, that is sort of my code, is that I will continue to look more into things and research more and bring up, the new things that are coming out.
Well, Freddie, we got an attorney with us. We got a doctor of psychology with us. And there's you and me hanging out.
I'm going to tell you something. I know everything.
I know you do.
Because I know her. So it's either going to be right or wrong, right? Is she going to tell me you're wrong, or is she going to tell me I'm right?
We're going to take a commercial break. When we come back, I need to hear from the man's point of view how men keep proactive and keep mental health. I want to say ideas. I don't know if you sit with stones or meditate, but a lot of women do, and we all admit to what we do as women to help stay somewhat
with stones.
Sane. I want to know what you do. I want to see what Mr. Farnsworth, some ideas that men actually do to keep the peace. It's a whole nother perspective.
He plays baseball.
All right, whatever it is, let's find out what he does when he gets back. We've got attorney Shane Farnworth joining us, and we also have Dr. Hillary with us. So stay tuned, 888-565-1470 live on WWNN, and we will be right back. Coffee News is a fun, family-friendly weekly publication provided free to restaurants, coffee shops, and waiting areas for customers to enjoy. Grow your business today through the power of effective, affordable advertising. Coffee News is an active marketing medium specializing in the ongoing weekly promotion of your business. This builds awareness for your company so you become known as the leader of your industry and develop brand awareness so people think of you first when they want your services or products. Maximize your visibility and achieve outstanding results. For more information on Coffee News, contact Sunrise Coffee News at mail.com or give them a call at 954-951-7870.
2020 has been a year like no other. 2020 The Game is an exhilarating board game where players struggle to collect 270 electoral votes and win the White House. All while navigating through the challenges of a global pandemic, an international toilet paper shortage, the invasion of murder hornets, state of emergency lockdowns, and civil unrest, just to name a few. Roll the dice and see what fate awaits you. Purchase yours today. Available at 2020-thegame.com, Palm Beach outlets, Amazon, and Walmart.com.
Welcome to Mini Donut World, where the donuts are hot, fresh, and delicious, made to order and customizable by you. Gourmet specialty flavors such as apple pie, French toast, campfire, and strawberry cheesecake are always popular. Looking to tailor your appetite? Build your own mini donuts. Choose from over 18 flavored donut bases, add on your icing flavor, and choose from over 15 toppings and drizzles. While kids enjoy our design your own kits to take home, our 21 and over customers love our alcohol-infused donuts. Come visit Mini Donut World at 8763 Sterling Road in Cooper City. Have questions or want to place an order? Give us a call at 954-369-2301. We know you will love each bite of our deliciously distinctive mini donuts.
You've been watching the Brooklyn Cafe Show. Join us each day and after hours as we talk about the hot topics to open the conversations and share a few laughs. Now, back to Dawn and Freddie S.
I don't know. And we're back.
We were all admiring your winter wear today.
Yes, I am cold. I'm going to tell you something. I don't care what you think. I'm cold. And when I'm cold, I'm putting the stuff. Wait till you see the hat I'm wearing tomorrow.
We were in the Studio A admiring what you put on this morning. You look lovely.
Yes, I got two different color socks.
Your socks match my wand. If you think
this
you like
is a hot
matching.
dog, and this is the bun. This was my Christmas present from Milan.
With your jeans, but I love your Brooklyn Cafe Show sweatshirt.
And there are blankets coming today. They'll be here today.
Blankets, mugs. We got a lot of merch. We've got some new bells coming in, which will be really exciting. So you'll be able to get.
Why are you making fun of me?
I'm not making fun of you. I love the warmth, the coziness of it.
The cozy.
But I want to ask, we got Mr. Farnsworth joining us, personal injury attorney, and you're here. And Slick, everyone loves Slick. When men get stressed, are there ways that you can help diffuse it, calm the savage beast? Non-toxin ways that you can actually take care of this situation?
Healthy ways.
Shane?
Well, I tend to do sort of exercise things. I do Taekwondo with my daughter, so we do that a couple times a week, and then generally at least 4 or 5 times a week, my wife and I go for a walk for 3 miles at night. And when I'm doing that, sometimes I'll try to visualize if I'm feeling stressed or not so great. I'll try to visualize that stress and take a deep breath, and then I sort of visualize when I blow it out nice and slow and smoothly, and I visualize the stress leaving my body. So I don't know if it works or not. It makes me feel a little bit better when I'm doing it, but when I'm doing the walk sometimes I'll just kind of concentrate on my breathing and try to do that to bring down my stress level, and try to be around friends and family and people that love you. I mean, sometimes you your job gets to you and you know, it gets to be too much. Sometimes you just got to take a break and step back and give yourself a little time to, you know, to relax and feel better.
If you're feeling better.
Are you a patient man?
I wouldn't characterize myself as all that patient. I try to be patient, but it's probably not one of my strong suits, no.
Okay. This morning.
How do you handle
this morning,
stress?
I'm going to give you one.
Let's hear.
I'm going to work in the cold weather. And I forgot that I have a 9 o'clock show every Monday at the radio station because it's new, a Mick Bazuli show. And I forgot. So I had to make it from 8:36 to 9 o'clock down here in Boca. So Linda gets out of the driveway, leaves her car in the middle of the driveway and forgot her planner. So she had to run in. Now Linda is no Speedy Gonzalez. So I'm saying to myself, by the time she comes out, I'm gonna miss it. So I had to maneuver my car around her. There began the tension. And then I did like this Beretta turn and I'm flying. Now you gotta be careful because on Monday, every cop in Boca is out there. So if it's a 35-mile-an-hour zone, you can't be doing 60.
And you did
50. And what I did was I was hiding behind cars. So I found a truck, hiding behind the truck, sort of maneuvering my way.
Because you live a bit of a ways from the radio station.
You know, yeah. But I got to tell you, stress, I sat down and I says, I don't handle that kind of stress well. Things that people do and all that, but this stress thing was on me. And I'm blaming myself because I should have known better. I should have prepared. I should have left earlier. But the cold fogs my brain.
You don't want to get out of bed.
It's a good thing you live in Florida.
Don't move. It's a roach. I got it off of you, though. Now it's on the floor.
Okay, I'm done. I'm out of here. Are you serious?
Oh, my God. I think it's on the floor. I got
You
it.
think it's on...
It's not on you, though. So sorry.
This is the best stress management.
Slip. Oh, I think there's a roach out here.
Step on the roach, Freddie, and make you feel better.
Ask for help, Freddie.
Someone said to me yesterday, I love the way you, he says to me, I love the way you prepare for your shows. It must be a lot of work. Yes.
It's right there. Turn on 5. That's it, I'm done. You're good? No, I'm not good. It's a roach.
It wasn't too big, though. It was like a baby palmetto. It was only about an inch.
That is the most I am roachophobia.
As you can tell, everyone, we are a little unscripted here on Monday.
No.
How do you handle that stress, Freddie? That was a perfect segue. I could not have written it in my bedroom myself.
Was it true, or are you just kidding?
No, it was actually true. I wouldn't do that in the middle of a conversation.
All right, somebody give me the broom, because you keep talking.
I'm going to let Hillary catch her breath. Shane, I know we're already at 11:45. You gave us these cards, which are really, really important, from the law offices of Shane Farnworth, and they're so important to keep in your car. It says keep this card in your vehicle. Tell us about some of the things that we should prepare if we are, heaven forbid, in an accident. And of course, injuries aside, major injuries. If you have a presence of mind to do, what do we do?
Yeah, we designed the card to help people when they get involved in an accident, because I know it's not something that happens to you all the time. So, you know, you're stressed, your adrenaline's going. You don't usually think all that clearly after an accident. So it's just there it's designed to help you with the situation. So obviously the first thing is, you know, if you're able, you get in the accident, if you're in the road, if you're able to move the vehicles and do so safely to a safer spot, you should do that. And then always call the police. I know Freddie and I have had this conversation, you know, several times. It's incredibly important to have the police come out and investigate the accident so you can get a report. Obviously, if somebody is injured, when you call 911, ask for, you know, an ambulance to be sent. Get the other person's information. It will be included in the police report. If there's any witnesses that are at the scene, you know, try to get their name and number as quickly as possible. A lot of times people aren't going to want to be involved beyond where they have to be. So if you start, you know, they have time to kind of scurry away, they will. So, try to ask them for their information as soon as possible, so you have that for the police. The other thing is take pictures of the vehicles that are involved in the accident, take pictures of the damage to each vehicle, take pictures of the surrounding area. The pictures to the vehicle are really important. I know we talked last time I was here about an accident where my client was rear-ended, and the person behind him is saying that they were rear-ended. He never saw a third vehicle. There's no third vehicle in the police report, but that other person's insurance company did pay a claim for property damage and sent my office pictures of the damage to the vehicle. My client took pictures of their bumper, but he didn't take a picture of the whole bumper. And the part that was missing, of course, was the part they claim was hit by the other car. So, make sure your pictures are accurate and you get all the damage. Get the information, get the police report. Once that's done, you need to notify your insurance company. Part of your insurance contract is a duty to cooperate. And to do so, you got to let them know you were involved in the accident. That allows them to investigate it timely. If you wait, they could deny possibly the coverage. So try to get in contact with your insurance company as soon as possible. If the insurance company for the other party calls you, preferably you don't talk to them about the accident. They're not there to help you. So if you're injured, get to a doctor as soon as possible so a doctor can evaluate your injuries and attribute those to your accident, and also speak to an attorney so you get your rights protected and you get off on the right foot.
I find this really interesting. I'm sorry, Freddie. It says, do not admit fault.
Yes, that's, don't talk about.
Not like, oh my gosh, it was my fault. I took my foot off the brake and I ended up in your bumper. You say nothing?
You don't talk to the other party regarding it. The police officer, you can discuss how it happened, but, I wouldn't recommend you discuss that so much with the other party. Yeah, if you say something, they could potentially use that against you later on. If you tell it to the police officer, it's generally privileged, but if you say it to the other driver, it's not. So you be careful about admitting liability. And like I said, always get a police report. Don't ever do the, how about we take care of this amongst ourselves, and here's my information, because, we've talked about before, a couple things can happen. One, the story as to what happened could change once you leave the accident scene, and how do you know that person's information is necessarily correct? So get the police there, get the police report. It's worth the time and trouble.
And what's the best way for people to reach out to you?
The best way to reach me is by phone at 561-272-8337, or you can visit our website, which is farnsworthlaw.net. And on our website, you can communicate with us through the website, but the phone is the easiest. Once again, 561-272-8337.
It's interesting because we gave one of these cards to Dr. Hillary when she came in. And she said, oh my gosh, this is so important. Thank you for having this. How do you have this? Why do you have this? We got all these questions. So what did you find so important about this card?
Having been in an accident in a state where I was new and didn't know anybody, and knowing that I'm an adult and I'm in it by myself, I felt very lonely. When I was hit in the accident, I didn't know who to call first. I was definitely overwhelmed. The adrenaline was going. I was so sad about my car because I loved my car. So there were a lot of feelings going on, and there was really no conscious thought process. And then police appeared because it was on a main highway, and then insurance people started calling me, and I kind of wanted to be like, hey, mommy, what do I do? So having this as a reference, I write things down all the time, because when we're flooded with emotion, it's hard to know what to do. And to have this in my glove compartment to say, oh, this is exactly what I need to do, is so helpful. And I happen to know somebody who just got their driver's license, and I'm fearful for her. I'm not even her family member, and I'm fearful for her with these wonderful Florida drivers. So, I asked for another one to be able to give to her as well. And
yeah, these kids, 16. Actually, I've noticed a lot of kids are waiting, Shane, to get their license. They're not all rushing. I remember at 16, they're 18. Some of our producers are 20 in their 20s and don't have the license. They just are afraid to even deal with it.
Yeah, it's driving's a big responsibility, and it's not necessarily inexpensive either. And with the price, car prices are up, gas prices are up, insurance is certainly not cheap here in Florida. We have, a lot of people that drive without insurance, or they don't have enough insurance, and that unfortunately gets shows up in the premiums for everybody else. So yeah, it's not. If you're a young person and you're responsible financially for the car and the insurance, it's a tough thing to do. So sometimes you may have to wait. Now I've given a bunch of cards to Dawn and Freddie, so if anybody needs one, they have some. Our office has them if you wanted to contact us. But it's just a good thing to have in your glove box in case you do have an accident. It helps to tell you, the steps to take. And the sooner that you get an attorney involved, the better it is in terms of protecting your rights, and also creates a buffer for you, because we then become the point person for the insurance companies, and we're the ones helping to deal with the claims and setting them up and speaking with the adjusters. So it kind of takes you out of the loop, except where you need to be there. And if you need to be in the loop, we help to prepare you and make you aware of what's going on and why it's important.
It's important to do it. I was in conversations last week with a friend of mine, and his son is getting his license. And something happens to young millennials when they're driving and they get involved in a car accident, and the other person is older. And the millennial starts yapping and talking, and they talk themselves into a frenzy, and then it goes sideways. So the way he said it to me is, because I gave him the card, he said, this is like a spare tire. You put it in your glove compartment, never to be used until you need it. I would get to know him, Shane. I would get to know him, because it's one of the important aspects, again, in planning things that happen. God forbid the accident is a minor fender bender or worse, if there's deaths or it's big or whatever. You have to be able to think your way through a situation. So having his number, and you call it, and he'll take it from there. Because I was told, now, Shane, I was told that you should take as many pictures, like traffic, weather conditions. If it's on the highway, you want to take as many pictures around you as what's going on. Is that true?
That is true. You want to take pictures of, like I said earlier, the damage to the vehicles. You want to take pictures of the surrounding area. Like I said, if there's any witnesses, get their names and numbers as quickly as possible, because people tend to fade away as quickly as they can. And that may be super important if the person that was involved in the accident with you has a different version of what happened than you do. That third-party witness can be super important. And another way, if you wanted to get some of this information, my website, farnsworthlaw.net, also has lots of frequently asked question videos on it related to personal injury. And I also used to do the Ask the Expert show with Steve O, and all those shows are on there as well. So there's a lot of good information on the website if you wanted to get some education on the topic without being involved in an accident. That's a good place to start.
Yeah, I was talking to someone, there was a case of a boating accident, and you work with that as well. And unfortunately, someone was drinking, they ended up overboard, they ended up having to have an amputation. Their friend was driving a boat that they had rented from the marina, because they have these boat rentals. So not only did it negate that whole friendship, it turned everything upside down. This person now is going through a whole case and a lawsuit, and it's a mess, because these were your friends, right? You went out for a nice day on the boat, and things went a little awry.
And the friends are suing the friends?
Friends are suing the friends, but the friends aren't the deep pocket. The marina's the deep pocket. Because you can sue someone, right, Shane, and there's no money, then you look for the deep pocket to help with some medical costs.
Yeah, we've talked before regarding uninsured motorist coverage and why that's so important. The reason is, in Florida, you're not actually required to carry bodily injury coverage. So if you get in an accident and injure somebody, the person may not have bodily injury coverage, which is the insurance that pays if you're negligent and injure someone else. So if you have uninsured motorist coverage, that's where that kicks in. So we're always looking for liability and insurance coverage that's available. The problem with suing an individual is that, chances are they're not going to have a lot of assets in most instances. And also, even if they do, they have bankruptcy available to them, whereas, insurance companies, they're more than likely to pay the claim. So that's why you're sort of looking for, insurance and deeper pockets in those situations.
So a lot of information. Call an attorney. Make sure you're safe as best as possible. Take your pictures. Don't admit fault. Get the information. Call your insurance carrier and call Shane Farnworth. What's the best phone number for you?
The phone number is 561-272-8337. Once again, the website, farnsworthlaw.net.
All right. And Dr. Hurley, what's the best way to reach you?
You can reach me on toll-free 1-833-552-4442. Also, my website is www.drdrthc.net. I'm on Instagram. I'm on Facebook. I will get back to you.
And she definitely will. I know I was texting her last week about somebody, and she's like, I may not answer the phone, but I will get back to them as soon as possible. And you did. And, sometimes when you're in crisis, you reach out, and then you retract. And when that person calls you back, answer the phone, because you were in crisis enough to ask for the help. Now, be presence of mind. I hope to receive the help. And I think we can talk about that into the next hour as well. You ready to wrap this up on our brunch hour?
I am.
All right, I've got one more.
Are we going to do the mini donut game?
I don't think we've got time to do the mini donut game. We'll have
we
to do
have
it
time
on the
to do
next
that?
hour. You can do the mini donut game.
Okay.
Pick a card.
Again
Here
with
is
the card?
my daily gratitude
The last
card.
time I did this, I got a
to wrap up
ticket.
our brunch hour on Monday at
Sure, you have to be
WWNN.
here,
All right, what's our daily gratitude card?
Gratitude is the conductor for your heart.
Gratitude is the conductor to your
Making
heart.
music with every beat.
Excuse me?
Making music with every beat.
Ah.
Don't make fun of my English if you're going to have me pulling cards.
Gratitude is the conductor for your heart. Making music with every beat. I like that a lot.
Yeah,
All
don't
right.
stop the music.
Have a great day, everybody. Stay tuned. We will be continuing to stream here on our social media platform. And for WNN, we will see you Wednesday at 11 a.m. brunch time. See you in a little bit.
And don't be late.
Well, that wraps up our brunch hour. But don't go away. Stay tuned for more laughs and cheers on Facebook or YouTube or
Cafe is open for business. Live from the Amp Media Studios, Dawn and Freddie S. and their team are ready to serve up a huge portion of fun for lunch with friends and neighbors. So let's break open that lunch pail and unwrap that sandwich you brought and take a front row seat in the Brooklyn Cafe and get ready to enjoy some humor and hot topics. It's time to get a healthy serving of hope and happiness to help your day go by with a smile. Your hosts, Dawn and Freddie S., are ready to talk about food, health, dating, or just plain dream making. If you have a story to share, movie review, restaurant critique, or just a coincidental thing that happened to you, call in toll free 888-994-4995, Studio A right now. Sit back and enjoy your lunch break at the Brooklyn Cafe. Here are your hosts, Dawn and Freddie S.
What would you do to get to me? What would you say to have you wait? Would you give up or try again? If I hesitate to let you in, now would you be yourself or play a role? Tell all the boys or keep it low. If I say no, would you turn away or play me off? Or would you say, and if at first you don't succeed, dust yourself off and try again. You can dust it off and try again, try again. Cause if at first you don't succeed, you can dust it off and try again. Dust yourself off and try again, try again. I'm into you, you into me, but I can't let it go so easily. Now till I see what this could be eternity or just a week. You know our chemistry is off the chain. It's perfect now. The way will it change? This ain't a yes, this ain't a no. Just do your thing, we'll see how it goes. And if at first you don't succeed, dust yourself off and try again. You can dust it off and try again, try again. Cause if at first you don't succeed, you can dust it off and try again. Dust yourself off and try again, try again. If you don't wanna throw it all away, I might be shy on the first day. What about the next day? I said you don't wanna throw it all away. I might be bagging on the first day. What about the next day? And if at first you don't succeed, dust yourself off and try again. You can dust it off and try again, try again. Cause if at first you don't succeed, oh, you can dust it off and try again. Dust yourself off and try again, try again.
calm down. You got this.
Wow. And you keep eating.
He got
You're still eating. Water?
Any water? No? Next? What's next?
No balls and no cake.
No balls.
You can't have balls.
Well, man. wake up.
Except for going to the restroom.
This is your cell, 813?
Yes, ma'am.
So we have a virtual
Yes, sir. Yes, sir, Steve. You already know. Transformers in the house. You dig what I'm saying? Yeah.
We on the shot, so step it out to the club. Scoot up close. One hand up, one hand up. Oh.
Where did you come from, Cotton Eye Joe? If it hadn't been for Cotton Eye Joe, I'd been married a long time ago. Where did you come from? Where did you go? Where did you come from, Cotton Eye Joe? If it hadn't been for Cotton Eye Joe, I'd been married a long time ago. Where did you come from? Where did you go? Where did you come from, Cotton Eye Joe? If it hadn't been for Cotton Eye Joe, I'd been married a long time ago. Where did you come from? Where did you go? Where did you come from, Cotton Eye Joe?
Hold up! A whole lot of fun at the Miss South Florida Fair. And look, because it is over but not officially over, we have enough kettle corn to last us a little bit.
Well, I got to take 2 south.
What south were you going?
I'm giving it to some people that asked for it.
Oh, you're theys?
Organization. Organization. There's still 3 more.
So there's a lot of disgruntled from the South Florida Fair.
She has a nails going in this direction.
Kettle corn. There you have it.
I'm gonna put a concept in it. Oh, and I hear the crazy, the zoo in there. Where's my kettle corn?
All right, guys, kettle corn it is. So, Alana, we got to have you take a seat. We got to get a little bit of a recap on your past 2 weeks.
Yes, because we want to know all of the foods you ate.
That segment should be coming soon.
I'll have to do a food segment together. A4.
She has to do a food segment.
Well, welcome back. You have been a very busy South Florida Fair winner.
It's been very tiring, but very fun at the same time.
Have you enjoyed it?
Oh, I loved every second of it. Every single day, for as often as I went, I found something new to do each day I went. Every day was something brand new we hadn't done, so it was a big checklist of everything. From riding the bull, like Don just did, to trying new foods, crazy foods, and then the good fried fair food. Seeing all the sponsors that we had in the expo center, seeing all the different shows, was finally able to see the really cool light show, Lumia. That was a Vegas-style light show just last night at the last day. So I tried doing absolutely everything I possibly could.
They had that Lumia show when they were tallying the votes when we were there. It was amazing. We were thinking maybe Slick could get that whole big hula hoop and get in it and sort of spin it. We were thinking where we could put it in the studio. That was amazing that they had that at the fair.
It was super cool. There's a lot of programming that goes on behind a show like that. It's very America's Got Talent type of a feel where they wear these suits. There's dancing, there's juggling, there's theatrics, but at the same time, it's all goes back to that STEAM programming, combining science and art to make a really cool, fun show.
Yeah, I want to go back to the food.
Oh boy.
Because let me tell you something.
It's like we got to get Freddie eating again.
You don't want to go to the fair with doing on food. Everything else goes.
It looked like you were choking on some powdered sugar in that video.
Let me tell you
what was going on?
Because they don't explain stuff. So Dawn doesn't eat any of your junk, like funnel cake.
I take a bite.
The good stuff.
She takes a pinch. Now, are you going to spend $20 on funnel cake for a pinch? Ain't happening. So Freddie got stuck having a health bowl. I don't know what the hell it is.
It was a Brazilian chicken bowl.
Yeah, and it has some pineapple stuff that you would think, pineapple? Piece of cake, right?
Salsa, yeah.
So she had some, I had some. She left me the one bite that was pure volcanic.
It sounds like some hot sauce.
So check out the logic here. So this knucklehead over here bought a funnel cake, and he didn't eat all of it. He left like a pinch, and it was covered in this white
powdered sugar. The
so
best
she
part.
says, You should have white sugar to stop the burn.
Okay.
Well, you know, milk stops the burn. I figured
like
the
coat your
powdered sugar was
tongue.
kind of like going to act like the milk, because water's going to make it worse.
No water. But rule number 1,
Don't
just
listen to
because
me.
it's white doesn't mean it's going to stop the burn. So I took the sugar, it made it worse. My eyeballs were coming out of my ears, and I'm smacking. So this guy, he thought it was funny, so he's filming it. Meanwhile, I'm tearing.
Your mouth was on fire.
On fire, I couldn't talk.
Did a crowd start to form around this kind of a show?
Come and help me.
Yeah.
This lady says, "Do you want some hot pepper sauce?" I looked at her.
Did you ask for help?
How can I ask for help? I couldn't even breathe.
You can talk.
My mouth was. I felt like a dragon.
I said, "You want water?" No. Oh, you want no. No.
So I go back to the guy. You know, now I'm crying,
Mm-hmm.
and I said, "Why didn't you put a warning label on this thing? This thing is like volcanic." He says, "Oh, you're supposed to mix it."
You didn't mix it.
And then we went for boba tea to get the sugar-free version of the boba tea, which is why you could not have the tapioca balls. But it was
So
even
she
too
kept
sugary
saying
for
I
you.
couldn't have balls.
Couldn't have any balls.
No balls.
And that would be where that came from.
I don't know what happened to that, but that was sugary. Ooh.
So I know we can't ask you your favorite, but do you have like a top 5 list of things you did?
Oh, I absolutely have a favorite. It is anything dealing with the agriculture. I fell in love with all the cows over there, especially the maternity. I think the best part that was really special is we did get to see and witness a baby calf being born, which was super special. I learned so much I did not know about animals and just Florida agriculture here in Florida, the amount of farmers and that kind of an industry that usually is around the North Florida area, especially over towards UF. There's lots of gators, is what I found out as a fellow Seminole, but watching the baby calf be born, being able to go inside and actually hold him, pet him, baby Jackson was super special. The pigs were okay. They made me kiss a pig. Not as soft and fluffy as the cows. Horses were very cool to watch. I got to see some different shows like barrel racing. So I've just learned a lot.
Bike night?
Bike night was super fun. Riding on the back of a motorcycle, my first time on a motorcycle, is very thrilling because while I'm used to doing maybe a parade or two before where little girls tend to see the sparkly crown and the sash and see me as a princess, it was actually cool because the guys would give you a head nod because you were on a motorcycle instead of a walking or in a car. So that was pretty cool. And I also loved being a guest judge for the bake-off that we had one of the days. The senior bake-off, I was able to go in. I put on my old chef coat I had from FSU School of Hospitality and got to try some yummy foods and help be there for the awarding.
What won?
It was dessert items, and the one that took the blue ribbon home was an upside-down pineapple cake, which was delicious, and it looked just as pretty as it tasted.
Upside down pineapple cake.
Mm-hmm.
Simple things in life that bring pleasure.
Oh, it was so good.
Was the weather a factor in the last couple of days?
It was. So usually the South Florida Fair, we love the January time to host because it's usually the coldest time of the year for as South Florida can get. Unfortunately, we were hit with some rain that very first weekend. The Sunday after I won was supposed to be our Mayor's Day parade, and we had to reschedule that for the last weekend. So we had it yesterday. This past weekend was really, really pretty as the temperature dropped. A little windy, but we got through it. But unfortunately, we did see a couple days of rain that we're not used to seeing, so that hurt a little bit. But for the most part, we can't complain. We saw it all. Some days it was hot, it was cold, it was rainy, it was dry, and we got through it all.
The fair's officially closed now, right?
Yes, yesterday was the last day, so you will have to stay tuned. The Expo Center is very busy over in West Palm Beach. I know that there is a reptile convention coming up. There is a big sweet corn festival I might be at come April, and I do believe they even do special events in Yesteryear Village over there for school trips, and if you want to go learn about a super culturally rich thing to go around to see life before the 1940s. It's a really cool little village. It is always there. It's open year round. Certain times of the year there's events. I do believe there's even like a special Halloween trick-or-treating event that goes on around October time, but schools do visits and trips all the time. So year round, if you're interested, Yesteryear Village is quite cool to check out. I think they even dress up in period clothing too to really make it a fun experience.
Nice. Well, I have to ask, because we started off our 11 o'clock hour, I don't know if you were here yet, talking about, unfortunately, Miss USA.
Yes.
And the pressures of being in the spotlight.
Well, it's extremely upsetting to hear. Chesley, while she was not in the Miss America system, which I'm in, she's in our competitor, the Miss USA system, and she really made waves throughout all of pageantry, because back in 2018-19, when she was starting to reign, it was the first time in history that a Miss America, Miss USA, and Miss USA Teen were all women of color. And it made headlines across the nation because pageantry is something that stereotypically was majority for white women when it first started over 100 years ago. And it showed the progression and inclusion and diversity that it is now. And it was a really big deal at that time. People magazine were showcasing from Oprah. I mean, they were making headlines and doing amazing, great things. And Chesley specifically was an Emmy-nominated reporter with Extra. She was just on television hosting Miss Universe this past end of the year. She's a proud lawyer practicing law. She was highly successful living her life in New York, and even was a brand ambassador with the company Express, doing things with Big Brothers, Little Sisters, Big Brothers, Big Sisters, Little Brother, Little Sisters program. So she was someone with a very big heart, super successful, iconic woman, and just pageantry community in a whole has been heartbroken, especially because of her work for mental health was part of her advocacy.
Oh, it was her advocacy.
So to hear that someone who might have been facing struggles herself, it just brings awareness again that even if someone looks like they have it all together on social media and might be the most successful person out there, to remember to check on them mentally, emotionally, and everyone needs some grace sometimes to step away from limelight and to check in and know that there's help out there, to always reach out, and that there's a hotline nationally out there as well, so to always check in.
So for young women out there that are looking to, maybe not necessarily the pageantry, you call it now a competition. I know that was the question they asked you, it's now a competition. What advice would you give young girls starting out, or women of your age starting to do this program?
Something that I always like to emphasize is we are often caught up in a social media heavy world, and I use it as a tool and a resource, but to know that the person that you should be seeing on social media should be the person that you would meet in real life. And I try to do that myself, to be a role model and a leader in that kind of an avenue, but to make sure that as you are a young girl, whether you're just starting out or in middle school, to not get caught in a comparison trap. Don't be valuing yourself on likes and comments and social media world, and to make sure that you're having those real world interactions and taking days where you can put devices down, step away, do things that you love and are passionate about, and take some time to do some self-care.
You think social media plays a big role towards mental anguish?
I do.
Absolutely. I know as a woman it does for me and my friends, it does. Men too, but I know that as a woman I often get caught even in my own head thinking when I'm scrolling through my feed, oh my gosh, she's so pretty, or look at what she's doing, or where she is, and it's that comparison trap that I get caught in my head.
But if we didn't have social media and you didn't do that and you were still involved in this operation, wouldn't that happen normally? Doesn't that happen normally just by watching pictures or somebody else perform? It's like playing sports. You want to be like Babe Ruth. I mean, I grew up wanting to be the Babe. But do you think that social media, because it's so open now, is contributing more to the factor? I mean, right now they're in Washington trying to decide that.
Oh, I do. What about Dr. Hillary? What do you think?
Wow. I think that mental health issues have increased because of the saturation of social media. Yes, there used to be people that we could say, oh, I wish I was like that person. But you and thousands of other people were also thinking that same thing. Now it's a random person on Instagram. It's 800 random people on my feed on Instagram. It's all day, every day. The kids are struggling in schools now because of the COVID restrictions. So again, their face-to-face contact is declined, and that is causing a lot of mental health issues in children. They're not getting socialized like normal, and staying in your room and just sitting on your device and looking at what other people have and comparing yourself to other people is probably the most detrimental thing you can do. We are all individuals, and that's why I believe in honoring that and figuring out what your strengths are, because we are all unique. And what can you give that those other people might not, because we're all special and we all have different gifts. And really figuring out what those are, and again, using the social media as a resource and as a tool, but not as your main outlet for everything.
And I think people, at least a lot of girls, I can't speak for guys, they use it as your outlet for everything. It's how you judge whether people like you, whether people notice you, how you look, all of that. There's a lot of judgment going on in social media for girls of all ages.
I think it's also important to note that the best way to combat this too is to make sure that you're keeping it real, because the difference between, say, if I just set it down and getting stuck still comparison, on social media you never know what is truly real and what is altered, because you're caught up in filters, in editing and tweaking and making sure you're getting the perfect angle. So not everything that you see is always what it is. Even in that time, I try to even post sometimes like a day or two after. It doesn't mean I'm even doing that right then, there, in that moment. But to a perception, that might be how it comes across too. So making sure that you have those unfiltered days too.
So what's your best advice?
Keep it real and keep it limited so that you can have a healthy balance.
Dr. Taylor?
Absolutely, balance in everything. Be authentic, be yourself. Like you mentioned, the filters, I mean, they can accentuate whatever we want them to, and that's not who we are. I often say Facebook is fake book. People put out what they want people to see. That doesn't mean it's real. So you're comparing yourself to things that might not even be real for that person. There's a huge, there's a word called batch filming. For anybody that does social media, they know that one day they get dressed up and they put multiple different clothes on, and they do batch filming so that they don't have to film every single day. And that's exactly, what you were talking about. Just because you post it one day doesn't mean that that's what's happening in that moment. And you might be having a bad day, but that's not what you're gonna put online. So nobody knows you're having a bad day. And going back to Miss USA, if you don't know that something's wrong, if you don't ask for help, it's impossible to get it. Nothing is going to come out of nowhere. So you have to put yourself in a position where you're saying, hey, something's not right. I'm not okay. And then, like you were talking about in the last segment, to accept that help when it is offered to you.
Accept the help.
I find it fascinating. What was that? Is that you, Steve? Come in, Steve.
Freddie?
What?
It's back.
I'm going to tell you something. I'm not
It's
messing.
on the table someplace.
Leave it on the table. I find it, I'm about to get angry. I find it that accountability, we have our own accountability. And if you don't like me, that's okay. And if you don't like what I put on Facebook, that's okay too. I'm not here to take into consideration in my head how you like or don't like me. Social media should be just that, a social media story.
Yeah, but people don't do it that way.
Yeah, I understand that, but it's like when you get sick, you call Dr. Google. You ever notice? Dr. Google has every answer. Now, it doesn't explain to you that if I'm allergic to something, that it might not work that way, or that there are other ways of doing things. I just feel that responsibility of who we are is as important as what you read. And if somebody says something detrimental to you, you say, okay, you're entitled to your opinion. What difference? Does the meaning really matter?
To people it does, but
why?
You got to seek help before it's too late.
You had to explain that to me, Lucy. Why? You think you're here and everybody's going to like you? Really? You think that everything you do, people going like, look at Gubba. You think everybody like him?
Everyone likes him. Everyone loves Steve.
I mean, he's out here 40-degree weather with no socks. How do you do that?
The people who write those letters that say, "Dear defendant," you think they love me?
Right, but you're in the, I guess maybe it's the business world versus everything else. When you're in business, you can't always take to heart what everybody's going to think about you.
But
Because
I
everybody
do.
wants it about them. You ever notice that? It's okay as long as it's about them. If they want it their way, it's okay as long as they get it their way.
Sure.
It's like even some marriages, sorry to say. Sometimes a selfish world, that's right. So you either feed the selfish world or you don't. You don't worry about if people are gonna say something negative. You know, and when you're on top, that's when it gets louder because they wanna bring you down. So you gotta be strong. Don't ask to get in this game if you aren't mentally strong enough. Simple. If you're not strong enough, don't get in. You know that thing when you're picking the right path? That could be one of them. But everybody loves a winner, man. Everybody loves a winner. What was it that you said the other day about I want to be with you when you win, but I don't want to go on the journey of earning it?
Now I'm not going to get the wording right. It's to the effect of everybody wants to be with you in your shining moment, but no one wants to be there on your journey.
They don't help you polish the shine. You know, and that has stuck in my head because the more I meet people, the more I begin to realize everybody wants to have 15 minutes of fame. I get it.
Yeah.
But it shouldn't come at your cost. Let them develop it and you help them grow that. So accountability is everything.
So we got Dr. Hillary with us here today and Steve Gubb. Today's National Hot Chocolate Day, so I have an idea for a drink.
Coconut rum and hot chocolate.
Yeah.
It's like Almond Joy. Peter Paul's Almond Joy and Peter Paul Mounds are chocolate and coconut.
So you're gonna make that for us. So
that's
we
one
just
of my that's one of my cocktails.
That's what I thought. So
and when in the 4-foot snowbanks that we have today up in Boston, Massachusetts, that's what we recommend because it's a nice hot cocktail.
we're gonna be making that when we get back from a commercial
How
break.
do you get all that frozen ice off those houses?
Oh, it's easy. It's called July.
All right, we're going to take a commercial break. When we come back, we've got Steve Gubb of Gubba Rum in person in the studio as we honor National Hot Chocolate Day with a nice, warm Gubba chocolate. Stay tuned, and we'll be right back.
Have you been injured in a car accident, slip and fall, or through the negligence of another? The lawyers at Shane M. Farnworth, PA, have over 40 years of combined experience representing injured individuals and their families. Call us today at 561-272-8337 for a free case evaluation and the answers to your legal questions. Were you injured in an accident that wasn't your fault? Don't let the insurance companies take advantage of you. Contact us now to learn about your options and to protect your rights.
Oh, what a beautiful morning. I am so glad today we got an early start. Where are we headed anyway?
Who knows? Wherever this glorious day takes us, and we'll take Don Pablo along too. Rich and flavorful with low acidity and notes of caramel. No matter where you're going or where you end up, Don Pablo never disappoints.
Excuse me, is that Don Pablo coffee?
Sure is.
Do you have any more?
Sure do.
Baby, hop in.
No matter where life takes you, Don Pablo Coffee is always there to pick you up.
Amp Media Productions and WNN Money Talk Radio have been in conjoint business for 10 years. They've been working around the clock, nonstop, to promote over 500 shows and businesses with added platforms such as social media live streaming, podcasts, and the specialty of live radio. To amplify your impact and start your show today, contact Amp Media Productions at 866.
Welcome to Amp2 TV, the first and only internet production company that's truly plugged in. When you're looking for a full-service internet radio, TV production company, Discover AMP2 TV. AMP2 TV is a full-service media company that can provide all streaming videos, video studios, radio studios, and television studios. Call us today at 866-224-5422, for no business is too small to grow to be accounted. It's time for your message to be seen. Let AMP2 TV help get you there.
Brooklyn Cafe Show. Join us each day and after hours as we talk about the hot topics to open the conversations and share a few laughs. Now, back to Dawn and Freddie S.
That is Gasparilla 2022.
Gasparilla, isn't that an animal that walks along the road?
Cole went.
Not a gorilla, Gasparilla. Isn't that an animal?
You want me to give that to Slick?
I always thought it was a cocktail.
Slick, can you open that for Freddie, please?
Amarilla.
That box.
Amarilla.
Armadillo.
Armadillo. His sister Gasparillo.
No, he wants you to open the
Open
box.
that box over there.
On the
that's
floor.
some
Is
new
Steven
merch.
camera shot?
We got some new merch going on.
And there
Let's see what you
is.
people think of the new merch.
We
Because
got.
I know. I follow my merch.
We got Steve Gubb joining us. You know, my son came in town. He said, I'm going down to Coral Gables. And I said to him, well, if you need to go to the Coral Gables Food, Wine, and Spirit Festival and say hello to Steve Gubb. And he came back yesterday and he said he did.
He did. What a great guy.
Hey, guess what he said about you.
Well, he didn't get to know me.
He said he was really nice.
Who the hell am I? Aaron.
What number is that? What number is it?
And I think he's on
2.
6.
So anyway, some guy taps me on the shoulder. I'm standing behind the metal barrier, or in front of the metal barrier, and he says, "I'm Don's son. I'm Aaron." I go, "Aaron, how are you?" So and she said, he told me the same story.
How did he recognize you?
Because I'm the only guy there, standing at my table. So it wasn't hard to pick me out. Although there was a very big crowd there that day. That was really nice of him to come by and say hi. I don't know why he didn't come in. Why didn't he come in? He should have come in. I was at the liquor tables were in the VIP area.
Oh, okay.
But it was really nice. He's nice. What a nice guy.
So thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you.
He has the face of Don. He has the face of Don. He looks like you.
He looks like me with the face
does.
and with a beard,
Yeah,
yes.
he's a really nice guy. It's really nice of him to come
Thank
and say
you.
hi. I really appreciate it.
Thank you. So he came in for the week, and I said, you got to stop by. And he's the type of kid that'll put 40 things on his plate and do probably 39 of them.
Wow.
In a day. He
That's
gets
impressive.
it all in.
Now listen, before we go to him to do this mixture, I want you to hold this.
Ooh, this is nice.
I'm going to tell you
Oh,
something.
look at this.
Now this is the design that Birthday Boy put together. These are blankets. There should be another one in there.
Wow.
That's
And these are blankets that we are putting in our merch. So didn't this
These
come
feel
out?
they're really soft.
Didn't they
I
come
like
out
that.
fantastic?
This is like a fleece soft blanket. This is
Gubba.
nice.
We're doing one for Gubba.
Is that one of those weave kind of deals, the new stuff, the high-tech stuff?
Yes, absolutely.
Really soft and everything?
Yeah, it's made out of hemp.
Well, you know, why is she laughing at me? What did
Because
I
we don't know
say? I
what
didn't
you're
say
talking
anything.
It's nice. It's a fleece blanket. This is really nice.
Feels nice.
Yes.
So, yes. So here, this one you take.
Thank
I'll take the next one.
That's very
and
nice.
Our next segment is brought to you by Gubba Rum. So let's run the spinner.
Let's.
This portion of today's show is brought to you by Gubba Rum. It's wicked smooth.
Dr. Hillary says, isn't it early for rum hot chocolate?
No, it's
What are you talking about? It's 1
It's
o'clock.
5 o'clock in London. What more do you need to know? What more do you need to know? You know, all you need is a watch with 2 dials. You have the regular dial and the little dial, and just set it to London, and you're done. There you go. And you have any excuse you want. It's 5 o'clock in London.
So what are we making today?
This is, it's Monday. My brain is fried because I did the Coral Gables Food, Wine, and Spirits Festival over the weekend, and they were, I don't know, a couple of thousand people. It was the greatest thing in the world. We did it. We had a terrific time. We had a lot of fun. We met the fabulous Aaron Graubert. It was wonderful. So after doing all that, and a lot of people drinking a lot of stuff, the easiest thing in the world, especially in Florida, because as we can see, Donna's dressed for, sub-zero weather. And
Look at the doorway.
It's about, look at this. That's great, I love that. All we've got today is a cup of hot chocolate. And what do you do when you need to warm up your bloodstream on a day like today when it's 70 degrees in Florida already, but it's only about 22.
See, look, it's National Hot
up in
Chocolate Day
Boston.
today.
Right, National Hot Chocolate Day. So all you do, coconut and chocolate, one of the taste sensations of the candy world. Take your hot chocolate, take your Gubba Rum, bingo.
Well, I've never had
Cocktail City. Done.
That's it?
How easy? That's it. How easy does it get on a Monday when you don't want to start thinking about 25 different ingredients in a complex cocktail?
Can't
There
beat
you go.
that.
And you do this, and the snow melts right off your roof. No ice dams, nothing. It's the greatest thing in the world. You don't want to plow the driveway? Drink hot chocolate. It disappears.
Do you remember the commercial for Campbell's Soup and the little boy comes in from the snow and he sits down to a bowl of tomato soup and the snowman just sort of melts? We can do that with Gubba and hot chocolate.
You can do that with Gubba and hot chocolate. It's a little
We
hot.
can turn Steve into a snowman, and then when he drinks his hot chocolate and Gubba, it sort of melts, and there is Steve.
I got contacted by the St. Bernard's Association of America. And they want to put Gubba in the St. Bernard's. You know how they have those things?
We can make. I sure do. We can make a
The little
deal.
Spoffit? What's it called? It's like an emergency kit. Well, they just have rum in it, so it's no more emergency than that. And then when you're on the ground like this, they open the spiffet up and you swallow the Gubba.
That's right. You drink Gubba. In Switzerland, that's very big.
That's very well known.
Very big in the Alps.
I was thinking of getting the dog just for the rum.
Buy a dog, get a barrel of rum. That's a hell of an idea. I like
Isn't
that
it?
idea. I like that.
You like that mug? The mug
Thank you.
is our
This
our
is a
heat
great-
mug.
look
We
at
should give
this.
one to Steve's, Freddie. It's a
Why?
heat mug. So
Oh,
when it gets
that's
hot,
not a
you-
heated mug.
yeah, that's
Is it?
Yeah.
Wow, do
I
you
have-
know that mug is black, and when you put hot liquid in it, that's what comes out?
It turns white. It's great. It's like color change mug. I have
I'm going to give you
those.
that as a gift.
Thank you so much. I have color change cups.
Do you?
I sure do. We did. I used to. There was Boston Harbor Cruise Line several years ago. They're not in business anymore, probably because they were serving Gubba rum. I don't know. But they were great. They made color change cups. It had the name of the cruise line on one side and Gubba rum on the other side. And if you took a plain white cup, when you poured something cold into it, it turned blue, it turned orange, it turned green. It was a lot of fun. It was
I
great.
love that.
Dr. Hiller, you want to try it?
Yes, she
Dr.
does.
Dr. Hillary.
I don't want to try it if it has rum in it.
No, it doesn't have any rum in it. No, it's fine.
No, it does have a
It
little.
does, but it's an
A
organic
pinch
rum.
of a rum.
All right, Steve.
A pinch. You can
I'll
have a
try it.
shot.
I'm going to
There's-
take one
can
for
we
the
have a
team.
too early
Here's-
for me.
Here's a shot.
I'm going to take it for the team. I'm going to have
Careful, it's hot.
some hot chocolate. and Gubba Silver.
And I
Thank
see
you,
we have
Lo.
some popcorn here today.
A little bit.
Yeah, from the fair.
Oh, that's nice. Just a little bit. Just a little zhuzh, as they say. A little bit of hot chocolate. I've got my blanket here. It's only 70 degrees in South Florida. I'm good to go
Well,
now.
the blanket was going to be here when it was 36 on Sunday.
Yeah, it was a little chilly on Saturday when the wind was blasting through the gables. I'll tell you,
it was tough.
That was a little chilly.
Saturday was really cold. How was the event?
The event was great. It was a terrific event. I told the gentleman who organizes this particular event, his name is Mario Pai. I've been working with him for about 5 or 6 years, about as long as he's been doing this. And we've had mud in Coconut Grove. We've had cold. We've had rain. We've had rain and cold. We've had nice weather, cold weather. We've had all sorts of weather. But this was the most well-attended event that he has had, I think, since we started. It was absolutely perfectly done, as far as the vendors, that there were the number of vendors, the number of people that attended. It was almost perfect. And if I got to plug two guys, if I may. There was a gentleman there who owns a company, and you'll find it on Instagram, Blue Boy Pizza. Oh my goodness, it's some spicier pizza. It was delicious. Pizza.
Where are they located?
You love
They-
pizza.
all they do,
She said
they don't have a brick and mortar store. You can book them through their website, or you can call them up.
We get some.
No bricks and mortar, but oh my God, what a delicious pizza!
Let's bring them in.
Terrific pizza. And who else was I wanted to plug? Oh, what else was? Oh, they had Cousin's Maine Lobster. Now, Cousin's Maine Lobster was on Shark Tank, made a deal with the Sharks. Made a deal with the Sharks. Feel better now? And they now are in any number of states. There's a truck in Massachusetts. There's a truck down here. They were serving their lobster bisque, which, as a Bostonian, I recommend heartily.
Where do you find their lobster bisque?
You have to just go to Cousin's Maine Lobster on Facebook.
And you didn't bring these guys with you today?
Well, I didn't see how the truck was going to fit through this little curtain doorway here.
He doesn't bring the truck, he brings a lobster.
Lobster bisque.
A
And spicy
lobster.
pizza.
Anyway, they were great. The pizza was great. It was just terrific. If you wanted to gain a couple of pounds, this was the weekend for you.
Well, we got some popcorn in case you didn't have enough to eat from the fair.
I see that.
Topped by
It was
National Hot
great.
Chocolate Day.
I see you holding on to that for dear life.
I'd offer some to you, but
No, it's okay. It has too much sugar.
that's what I thought.
I'm admiring
So like
the
I
cup.
said, I'll take it for the team. Too much sugar for you, too much rum for you, so I'm like Goldilocks.
I'm
It
going
is
to
just
do
perfect for me.
I'm going to do a sugar-free dietetic rum. That way we could drink as much as we want. We want to get drunk.
All right, you want to do the mini donut game?
Yes, I didn't put this one together, so.
The mini donut.
The mini donut game. We'll have Doc play. You've played before?
No, I don't know what this is.
You have two boxes here. Box 1 and box 2. Very cleverly designed.
They're heavy, right?
Yeah, they are. Yeah, they are. You pick one, and the other box, do we give it to Steve?
Absolutely.
And Steve
Want me to hold one for you?
No, I got it. And Steve will win the other box. So theoretically,
everyone's a winner.
Everybody wins, but you get to choose who gets what.
I'm confused.
Just have to pick a number, 1 or 2.
Hold on. I
don't-
don't make decisions that easily.
Well, let
What
me
are the
know in-
consequences of me choosing one box over the
You
other?
win the one you pick, and he gets the other one.
What are in these boxes?
That's the game.
But they're not necessarily donuts.
Maybe.
They're not necessarily donuts.
Maybe they're roaches. I mean, what's the...
Now, do you think I will be holding this if there were roaches in it?
Steve, you missed the 11 o'clock hour when the roach crawled on his arm.
Oh, man.
They could
I'm
be the
gonna
keys to
pick-
Dawn's car, for all we know.
I'm going to pick box number 1, even though I don't know which one is number 1.
This is number 1. So let's look at box number 2 that you did not select to see, wow, what Gubba
Not
won.
roaches.
So Gubba has an Island Wanda's T-shirt.
What is that?
Wanda's Kitchen.
Oh, very
Wanda's
nice.
Kitchen.
Isn't that lovely?
A T-shirt.
He gets a T-shirt, and you are going to have organic coffee from Don Pablo.
Wow.
You ever had his coffee?
I have not.
Now you can make some of your coffee drinks, and of course, no gift is complete.
Brooklyn
without some
Cafe
big-
show
I'm kind of
coffee.
jealous.
Without some Brooklyn Cafe coffee. And to keep your table safe from getting burned, you must get a Gubba Rum Coaster.
A Gubba Rum Coaster.
How you like that?
Wow. What a gift.
No, I didn't know you were going to be here. so-
Is this a re-gift?
And then kindness matters, because wearing this button is always important.
That's very good.
But yes, we have a bunch of these, so I'm not going to give you this.
As a matter of fact, we might need
'Cause I
some
need
more.
It's possible I have a couple in the car. It's okay.
So yeah, you
All right,
get
so
that.
Steve, here's your
Well, that's
box.
heavy.
Thank you so much.
And let's see what
This,
Doc.
I am
Dun, dun,
honored.
dun.
Doc, let's see what you want, because it's making a lot of noise.
What
Dun,
happened?
dun, dun. Oh.
Wow.
In honor of Valentine's Day,
Aw.
You get a nice little heart.
for self-love.
That's enough for me.
And then you too also get a button.
Kindness matters.
Kindness does matter.
And I guess Dawn is planning on you shaking your own cocktails.
Or juice or tea or
Awesome.
or
whatever she'd like to
You
put
can
in
mix
there.
your CBD or whatever you put into your teas, and you have a mixer. It actually works.
You
and
got
of
it.
course, no box is complete without a bag. of
Yes.
Brooklyn Cafe coffee.
Yes,
Well, there
and
you
I
go.
will just tell you that we have been using the coffee, and you get a 2 thumbs up.
She actually went and got a grinder.
I went and I got a grinder.
You did?
Yep, Amazon was there the next day.
Really? And you bought
It's like
out-
magic.
Holy smokes.
So how you like that, Freddie?
Thank you
The
so
mini
much.
donut game.
The mini donut game. And how do you get your mini donut?
Mini donut, you can give
Throw
them a
that in
call
here.
at 954-369-2301. MiniDonutWorld.com. They've got a great new multi-pack, which comes with a description of what's in it. So you can have key lime with tequila, you may have s'mores with Kahlua, or you can get a variety box, 24 hours notice, and a $25 minimum order, which is just one box, gets you free delivery in Coral Springs, Parkland, or Boca Raton, and of course in Fort Lauderdale as well, but they will come up to our area because they're located in Cooper City.
Yes. And they were here on Friday.
They were here on Friday.
And they are planning to expand and grow and go.
So that
Kind
was
of
really
interesting.
exciting. Want to take a break?
No, let's keep going.
All right, we're going to keep on rolling. And the piece you saw before this was Gasparilla 2022. One of our new interns, Cole, went out for the weekend to Tampa.
He's 6'4". We call him Shorty. And that must have been nice. He also showed us some footage of him skateboarding, which is pretty good. And he's a
So
swimmer.
You
and-
can see as the mug cools, it changes
it
color.
really does.
It really. I think we make this up.
I didn't know you could do that with ceramics. That's very.
You just told me you had a fleet of colored.
Yeah, but it was plastic. That plastic can do
Oh, this
anything.
is not. This is ceramic.
That's very impressive. I didn't know you
We're
could
going to
have
give you
that.
one before you. How long are you in town for?
This is technology. Wow. It's a good question. If the snow doesn't melt, I'm staying. I got a
Awesome.
cart right in the back.
We're in.
I was just about to say I have a cart right in the back here, but if there's other little things crawling around, I'm hanging out.
Actually, that little white futon over there, we've had actually a producer sleep on it once before, so all
Okay.
yours.
During a
First of all,
snowstorm.
there
right?
ain't nothing going around. I think she's making it up to just drive me insane.
You notice that she's doing a number on that hot chocolate.
All I can
I'm
say,
not
when you got to
saying-
take one for the
When-
team.
I'm not
Yeah.
saying
It's tough to
that-
be me.
It's tough to be done.
My cousin yesterday says, wow, I admire how much you prepare for your shows every day. I said, yes, every day. You never know what's going to walk through our doors.
Now, do we have the phone lines open?
What's our number?
I don't know. 888-9944-995? Studio A.
You got new glasses.
Yeah, because the other ones I couldn't see out of them.
Nice.
And these are smaller. You know what they've done with these
I
glasses?
see that.
They shrunk them. Either
Maybe
my head's
those are the
gotten bigger.
ladies.
No, these maybe they were. I told the lady to get the hell out the way because I gotta see. Listen, in the human body, today's trivia. If you call in, you win a bag of coffee. In the human body, what gland controls body temperature?
What gland?
The,
Yeah,
therm-
yeah.
the
Not
therm-
you.
the thermostat. What else?
I know.
You do?
Of course I do. I'm a doctor.
This segment of the show brought to you by Coffee News.
Okay, what is it?
The hypothalamus.
She's right.
She's like,
Wow.
of course. Steve knew that too,
Duh.
of course. You got to get really a tough one to stump Steve.
That was tough for Steve. You knew it, Steve?
Well, I could say that, but yeah, no, I knew. I was going to say hypothalamus. Whether or not it was right, I wasn't so sure, but it sounded good.
I was going with pituitary, but no.
I was going with feet, but what do I know? Edam cheese.
Eat 'em.
Eat 'em.
You already know it.
No, I don't know. I never heard of it before.
Edam cheese has its originals in what country? I know. You know that? Is there
Switzerland?
nothing you don't know?
Switzerland?
No.
As the day goes by, you must be well-rounded.
Oh, you're really
so that
well-rounded.
you can go to a cocktail party and know that the caviar around the dish that you're looking at is a garnish. You don't just scoop it all up. Just so you know.
Has anyone seen the show on Netflix called Feeding Phil?
No.
Hilarious.
Hilarious.
You should watch it.
Okay.
Because it is so funny to watch Phil's expressions, and he eats his way through a segment. Right?
That's Is Phil a larger
No,
individual?
as a matter of fact, he's tall and thin. I don't know how
Okay.
he eats what
He's
he
like
eats.
Cole.
Yes.
I think Cole is feeding Phil.
Feeding Phil. All right, what's next?
Wait a minute. We don't. What country is the origin, Doctor? You know? What is it?
I didn't
the
major in
Netherlands.
cheeses.
He's correct. The Netherlands.
Wow.
All right. The average eagle's nest is 4 to 5 feet in diameter. How many feet deep? Let's go, Einstein. Let me see you get this one. Let me see.
4 to 5 feet in diameter.
In diameter.
So how many feet is an eagle's nest deep?
She's measuring.
She's looking up. No, there's no eagle nest up there. Finally got him. Do you know?
No, I'm being polite. I'm
But
waiting.
you do know?
Of course I know.
I'm going to say 8.
No.
It's 3 feet deep.
How did he do that? 2 to 4 feet. How do you do
No way.
that? 2 to 4 feet.
I'm really sorry. I was absolutely.
He's a vast world of knowledge.
You're a good guesser.
And the easiest one, you can't play this one. What is myopia?
Onomatopoeia?
What?
Onomatopoeia?
It doesn't have all that. It says myopia.
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 I don't know. Never heard of it
Myopia.
before. Somebody is said to be myopic, Freddie.
What is it?
I don't know.
You know?
I'm waiting for you to share your new knowledge.
What do you know?
I know nothing.
Alana.
It gives you the answer.
Yes, I know the answer now.
It's your eyes.
Yes, it has to do with your eyes. You know what it is. Everybody in the world knows what it is.
Myopic.
Myopia, it says.
It still is.
No, I cannot, because it would give it away. You either know it or you don't. Everybody else in here knows it except me.
Give it a second.
All right?
It doesn't have it in a sentence?
No.
This spelling be brought to you by the Coffee News.
It doesn't have it. It says
I'm
what
gonna say,
is.
It means you have a narrow point of view. Would that be correct?
Yes. What is? Well, she
Myopic,
doesn't believe me.
Your views are myopic. You have a narrow
How's
point of
that?
view.
Your views on myopic. That help you?
It's like within a certain...
Yeah, okay.
If I say farsightedness, you say
Myopic. Yeah, myopic.
If I say farsightedness, you say farsightedness.
If you don't see far, you see near.
Yes, I do.
And here's your bonus question.
What is your horoscope? What sign are you?
What is my what?
When's your
Horoscope.
birthday?
It's coming up. March.
he says Libra, I'm running
March 3rd. No.
March 3rd.
March 3rd.
What are you?
Pisces.
I was a Pisces, but then didn't they change it? They moved the dates up or something. I read that like a year ago.
You
Well,
can't be a Pisces.
He's like
I
you.
am. What can I do?
He's like me.
I'm like a.
Doc, what sign are you?
Sag.
Sag.
There she is.
I'm a
Sagittarius.
All right, let's start with Pisces because I got to read this. At the beginning of the week, your thoughts and emotions are likely to be out of balance. Now, that is probably the first correct thing I've heard today. It is important to make an adjustment in your view of a stressful situation. You have stress?
Do you?
All the time.
Make
And
an
the more I read this,
adjustment
the more
in
I
the
have stress.
stressful
Everybody has
situation.
stress. I have stress, but
I
what am
need
I
a
going to
screwdriver
do?
to get a stress out.
What are you going to do? So, like, get over it and keep going. So what am I going to do?
Wasn't that what we talked about before?
Yep.
I need a screwdriver, and then I keep going. Get it? Screwdriver?
Got
Vodka,
it.
orange juice?
Yes.
Bada boom.
Bada bing. Gotta go.
Gotta go. Sagittarius. Oh, your minutes. You may have recently experienced greater energy and unusual vitality.
Ooh.
If so, that period has peaked. It's all downhill. It's all
downhill from here.
Man.
I love horoscopes.
Honor the quiet of winter and spring can bring a return to your greater vitality.
Yes.
Honor the quiet. No,
I have an idea actually for you now that you said that.
My sister's a Sagittarius. There ain't nothing quiet about them. Who is the Taurus?
She's a Gemini.
Who are you to them? This week you may likely feel grounded, stable, and optimistic. You no longer have to be around farm animals. There is the potential to use good judgment in building a solid foundation for future progress toward your life goals. That's so you.
That's me this week. I don't always agree with it.
This week, this is her best because she's a Gemini. This week, she's a she agrees. Next week, maybe not so much.
That's her right now because in 3 seconds it changes.
I found little Joe.
Well, you're on the page, so I'm going to be looking for him. Little Joe, what happens when you find Little Joe?
All right, you need Libra. You write in and you can win something.
Is that the way it works?
Yeah. I'm stuck in the popcorn.
Libra, your feelings and emotions may provide the drive you need now to achieve your heart's desire.
That would be Slick. Slick, it's time for your heart's desire to be fulfilled.
Just don't let the residue of an old wound get in the way. Nah, Slick is out. Slick is nothing but a giant wound. They call him Wound Warrior.
All right, what's mine?
What sign are you?
Aries.
Again?
Again. 55 is quickly approaching, yes.
Perhaps you have been in a period of doubt and uncertainty, rooted in past negative experiences.
Amen.
Should I stop there, or do you want me to
Oh,
continue?
let's hear that I'm getting out of it.
This week may provide positive energy so that you can progress in your present efforts.
Bam. All in.
She read this before, that's why she wanted me to finish.
Actually, I did not. The horoscopes are always pretty true.
We have any requests? Anybody want their horoscope read?
Scorpio.
That would be cold. Scorpio. At this time, there is an opportunity for a balance between your mind and your emotions.
Scorpio and Taurus.
This could allow a positive change in your physical and mental health. That's Scorpio.
When's
Taurus.
his birthday? November what? 11/11.
What?
Armistice Day. Armistice
11/11,
Day.
Isn't that?
You don't know what that is.
That was 9/11. Yeah,
How about Veterans Day?
Taurus.
Veterans Day.
Take it easy. You only got a minute left. You may gain insight about your life lessons and how to address them. These lessons may involve a change in your beliefs or actions regarding nurturing and or parenthood. Who's the Taurus?
No, who's it? He's got his
Well,
moon
then-
rising
You're
in
asking
Taurus.
about your moon?
Well, then you're pregnant because you're about to have children.
Oh man, that's all I can tell you.
You're about to have children.
What a show! I got to tell you, Freddie, these are spectacular. You can order these on our merch
I
store,
ordered 2.
They're going to
BrooklynCafe.tv.
cut it up and sell it by the square inch.
These are amazing.
I wanted to see what they looked like before I went crazy on putting it, but it's going to be in the merch store and everything else.
These are fantastic. Today is National Hot Chocolate Day, everyone. Add a little bit of Gubba Rum Silver, a little bit of coconut. You've got
Look, it
kind of
turned
like
dark.
a coconut patty in every sip. Dr. Hillary, how do people find you?
You can reach me at 1-833-552-4442 or www.drthc.net. Also on Instagram and Facebook, Hillary Taylor and Dr. Taylor's holistic community.
What if we put something together about healing and finding self-ways to heal with different seminars like crystals and water and Reiki and all of that? Wow, she's another one of me. Thank you for playing.
Another one. That's all we need. Didn't you read the horoscopes?
Yes.
Too
more
many of you.
positivity. Look, Steve, look at all these clothes I got on.
You're keeping warm. You're great this week. Because it's going to be 80 on Thursday.
It might
so
be
you're
80
really all
tomorrow
set.
when I walk out the door. Have a great day, everyone. Stay safe. Be kind to each other. For more information on Shane Farnworth from our first hour, we can get you these cards in case, heaven forbid, you're in an accident. You know exactly what to do. You can contact him at farnsworthlaw.com or 561-272-8337. Have a great day, everyone. We will see you tomorrow, 9 a.m. drive time.
And don't be late.
Bye-bye.
Well, that's about it for today. Even though the show's over, the Brooklyn Cafe is always open for business. You're invited to join the fun every day from 12 to 2. If you missed some of the laughs from today, Dawn and Freddie S. will bring you more good cheer next time. You can follow the Brooklyn Cafe on Facebook at the Brooklyn Cafe TV to rewatch every minute of the show. We'll see you next time.
In the cold and sleepless nights, I wait for you to bring me back to life. In my electric eyes, it doesn't mean that time can thicken every single breath. I want to unfreeze my heart and fly away. That's why I wanna save it. Your moons and craters. Open up my eyes, waterfalls of ice, sweeping me away like an avalanche. Helpless as I fall, the words can't say it all, sweeping me away like an avalanche, like an avalanche. I listen for a sound, waiting deep inside my maze of sweeping thrills and colors. Just a ray of light, bathing me in drops of ink that gleams across my body. Wish you could unfreeze my heart and we could fly